All right. Time. Welcome, judges. My name is Elika, and I've built my relationships in this industry to curate your coffee experience. I bring a unique blend of coffees, new drippers, tools, and techniques to brew each of you the best cup of coffee I've ever tasted. This summer, I visited Immaculata Coffee Farms in Colombia. I've brewed coffees from them for over 3 years, and in that time, I've learned that two are a perfect complement. I'm excited to brew a blend of their Cafea Eugenoides and Sudan Rumé. Eugenoides is the ancestor of Arabica, and I love its real fruit sweetness. And while it lacks both caffeine and bitterness, it also lacks a vibrant acidity. Sudan Rumé is a variety with high resistance to disease, and I love its complex flavor, but it can have a delicate mouthfeel. Both of our coffees are processed with carbonic maceration, sealing the cherries in CO2-filled tanks for 8 to 9 days. This slow and controlled fermentation breaks down nutrients to impart tropical fruit flavors while maintaining variety traits and a clean cup. Eugenoides provides a foundation of sweetness in my blend, with Sudan Rumé adding brightness and complexity. Their processing yields a harmonious flavor profile, while my brewing adds body and balances the strengths of each coffee. As I prepared your blend, there wasn't a dripper that allowed me to control my brewing variables exactly how I wanted so that I could serve you the cup that I imagined. Today, I'm excited to brew on my signature MK dripper. The MK dripper is handmade in Copenhagen with a familiar flat bottom shape. I chose this because it creates a short and flat brew bed, allowing me to extract all potential body and sweetness evenly. My signature dripper has larger drain holes than the original MK. At nearly 7 times the surface area of those found on a Kalita, I have a high flow potential like a cone brewer. With this shape and flow control, I can balance the acidity and flavor into your cup. I'm pairing my dripper with Seaburist flat filters from Barcelona. These filters complement my brewer by eliminating waves and adhering to the smooth walls. This accentuates that short and flat brew bed, in addition to reducing the bypass of water out the sides of my paper for increased extraction efficiency, and therefore more consistency into each of your cups. Both of your coffees were roasted 11 days ago, where the aromatic and flavor compounds will peak for you here today. My recipe is 10 grams of each coffee for 20 grams total, brewed with 250 mils of 93 Celsius water for an ideal flavor balance. My brew water is 110 ppm with a high concentration of calcium for increased vibrancy in your cup. My final tool is the Mellow Drip Lift. This drip assist tool was developed between myself and friends in the United States. It rests on top of my drippers, and it directs the force of my kettle downwards in a cascade of droplets. These droplets help to reduce the particle discharge that escapes paper filters and masks your palate, and it therefore will increase your perception of flavor. I'm pouring in 5 total pours of 50 mils each every 45 seconds, with 80% of my water poured through this dish, and the remainder poured lightly through this inner ring to saturate your coffee fully. Now, I have to extract each of these coffees differently. Eugenoides has low solubility and tastes more fruity and sweet at low extractions. Sudan Rumé is easily soluble and tastes more complex and vibrant at high extractions. I've leaned into these differences by layering Eugenoides at the base of my dripper and placing Sudan Rumé at the top. Our hot, fresh water hits our top layer of finely ground Sudan Rumé first, quickly extracting our complex acids and floral flavors. This then saturated water percolates through our coarsely ground Eugenoides, lowering our extraction potential, but still pulling sugars and fruity esters into your cup. The controlled agitation of the Mellow Drip keeps the integrity of these layers throughout the brewing process, allowing me to achieve the optimum extraction for each coffee simultaneously. I discovered that by layering in this manner, I could increase the tropical fruit flavor in your cup to a level that I didn't experience in either coffee individually. And I knew I had to serve you this coffee. With this tight 1 to 12.5 ratio, I'm achieving optimum flavor balance. I decided to pre-dilute your cups with 19.5 mils of my brew water to stretch the flavors. This allows me to balance the high sweetness of the Eugenioides with body and the complex floral and fruity flavors of the Sudan Romé. I'll be serving you today in the Aurea Sense cup, also made by MK Ceramics. This cup's tapered and flared lip will concentrate and then disperse the aroma across your palate for increased perception and especially enjoyment. When I serve your cups, I'd ask that you stir 3 times to mix the beverage, in addition to releasing the aromatic compounds trapped beneath the surface. Your first impression of this coffee will be the aroma. You'll smell vanilla bean, cherry, and caramelized pineapple. The palate of this coffee exhibits a complex array of fresh and cooked fruits. You'll taste kiwi and cherry hibiscus tea, which is a red fruit flavored floral tea, throughout your cup profile. In addition, while your coffee is at its hottest, you'll taste ripe pineapple. When your coffee becomes warm, kiwi intensifies, and your cup will taste sweetened with an herbal honey like manuka. You'll also taste melon and a hint of pomegranate. The acidity in your cup, the aftertaste, is long and sweet. And this begins when hot with cacao nib, caramelized pineapple coming over from that hot flavor, and eucalyptus. This turns when cool to milk chocolate, with pineapple and eucalyptus remaining. The acidity is medium in intensity and citric, sweet and tart like pineapple, gently intensifying as your coffee cools, becoming more complex, refreshing and tart like pomegranate. The body is medium in weight, silky, soft, and juicy, becoming even more so as your coffee cools. At Immaculata, they told me that to be great, you need more than a collection of things. You need soul. I know that this cup is greater than the sum of its coffees, the tools, and the techniques, because at each stage, from seed to cup, we impart our very soul. And it makes me truly happy to serve this cup for you, a collection of things that's greater than the sum of its parts. When you evaluate for flavor, I'd like you to drink equally from your spoons as well as your cups for a balanced drinking experience. And at each transition in flavor, I want you to hold a portion of this coffee in your palate to experience its full weight and confectionery sweetness. Thank you, judges, and enjoy. Time.